Hello everyone. A very good morning to all of you. First of all, thank you very much for taking your time amidst your busy schedule and joining today's workshop. And this is the fifth of a series of workshops on modernizing password self-service. Each workshop in this series will focus on a specific set of password self-service and IT self-service tasks and demonstrate how you can reduce help desk workload using AD Self-Service Plus. I hope this session will be of great use to deploy AD Self-Service Plus product effectively. So before getting into this topic, let me introduce myself. My name is Ramchand and I work in the marketing of the Manage Engine team, and I will be taking today's workshop. I hope my voice is audible and the display is well and clear. If not, please let us know in the chat. So the topic that we are going to see today is strengthening users' password by enforcing a universal password policy across various applications and systems. So this deals with how you could use AD Self-Service Plus to deploy password policies so that the user's password will be strengthened by these policies across all applications connected with AD Self-Service Plus. So the points that we are going to see today is the first one would be deploying and enforcing universal password policy for all your applications. That is Office 365, IBM, Google Apps, and Active Directory, which is connected with AD Self-Service Plus. The second would be showing instant password strength when end users type their passwords in Windows and also on the change and reset password from the web interface. The third would be configuring blacklisted passwords to eliminate their usage, thereby securing your environment. The fourth would be customizing password policy requirements, which is the order in which the password policies would be shown to the end users. And finally, we'll see how to enforce this also from AD/UC, that is where the admin would reset user's password from the AD/UC console in a domain controller. So let's head on to the first point. Now I'm going to log into the product as the admin. Now this is my AD Self-Service Plus portal. I'm logging in as the admin. So the first thing would be I would head on to configuration tab and then choose password policy enforcer from the self-service group. So I already have a policy AD360, which is for the domain AD360. Now I'm enforcing password policy for this domain. Now as you can see, there are 9 set of rules that the end user should follow to reset or change their password. I'm going to disable a few, which is according to the admin's decision. So I'm disallowing. You can just uncheck a password rule to disable the usage of it. So you can also use patterns that the user cannot use as passwords. So I'm going to add a pattern, which is a simple word machine. And then there is this special checkbox which says the password must satisfy at least n number of the above complexity requirements. Now I have chosen 7 password rules and I'm going to check this box and going to enter the value 4. So end users just need to satisfy 4 of these 7 password rules. And then there is this next checkbox enforcing the policy in the end user's GINA or change password screen, which is their Control-Alt-Delete screen, and also from AD/UC console where the admin resets user's password. We need this password sync agent for this step, and I'll show you how this is done a bit later. And also there is this third point showing this policy requirement in reset and password change pages. You can also customize this view. This will also be visited later. So now I'm going to save these rules, and it's successfully updated. Now let's see how we can install the password change client software to GINA and the CP screen from AD Self-Service Plus. You just need to head on to this link, and it asks you, do you want to save the changes, and it's yes. Now I need to search for the machine on which our client software has to be installed so that the users will see the password policies in their Control-Delete screen as well. So I can search for this computer, or I can select all the computers in the domain and install the client software. Right now I'm just going to search for a particular machine, and I'm going to install only in that machine right now. So you just need to check it and then click install. You'll be taken to the installation screen and you'll be shown the status right there. So once this process is complete, you'll see the status, yes, it's successfully installed. Now I can show you how the user would see the password rules. I'm taking a remote connection to this machine. I had already logged in as an end user named Raja. I'm heading on to the Control Alt Delete screen of this machine and I'm clicking change password. Now, as you can see, the user's name is Raja and he's being shown all the password rules that we had set using AD Self-Service Plus. And one more thing to be noted here is you can use this. This is a live password policy so that it changes according to the password that you enter in the new password checkbox, text box. So the password rules with a tick mark shows that these rules have been satisfied, and at the end of these rules there is this button restricted patterns. You can click on it and see what are the restricted words that I cannot use. Now I'm going to use the word machine in my password and I'm retyping it and I'm clicking next, that is submitting this form. Now the password contains some special characters and so it's accepted. But if the password is just a simple word which is listed in this restricted pattern, the user would not be allowed to change password. So this is how restricted patterns work. Now the same works for the web interface as well. So for this, I'm opening another browser and logging in as an end user to this machine. I'm typing the password and I'm entering. So once I log into the product, I'll be asked for enrollment, which is default for all the users using AD Self-Service Plus. So I'm just heading to the enrollment tab. I'm choosing 2 security questions for each user. You would have already noticed this in the previous tutorial regarding end users enrollment process with AD Self-Service Plus. Once the user is enrolled, you can head on to the change password tab and I can enter my old password and I can see the password changed live, but there is no password change meter right here. This is because the admin has not enabled password policy enforcer for change and reset password screens. For this setting, I'm heading back to the admin and choosing password policy enforcer. I need to check this box, show this policy requirement in reset and change password pages. This has to be enabled for the end users to see the password strength meter and also the customized password policies. Now the end user will see the customized password rules for his policy and also the list of restricted words. So I can type my password, and as I type, the password policies which I have satisfied will have a green tick mark. And also you can note that the password strength meter shows the strength of your password. So your password is good if the password strength meter is green and that all your password policies are satisfied. So only if you satisfy all these password, you can head on to the next screen, that is change password. So this is how your password policy is enforced across your GINA, that is Control Delete screen, change password screen from the product, and also reset password screen from the product. So, and also you have noted that the password change, that is the password policy requirements, changes instantly as you type the password. And the next thing is configuring blacklisted passwords. So I'm heading again to the domain admin portal in AD Self-Service Plus, and I'm heading onto the password policy enforcer. So I already added a common word machine to the list of blacklisted passwords, I can add any number of blacklisted passwords that the user should not use. Some common terms like password, PWD, username, and words like this, or maybe a computer. So you just need to save these words so that users cannot use these words in their password. So this is the third point that we saw in this topic, that is configuring blacklisted passwords to eliminate their usage. So I can show a demo of this. I'm heading back to the user's machine, which is a remote connection. I'm heading to the Control-Alt-Delete screen of the user. So I'm typing my password, old password. Now my new password is going to be the word password. So as you can see, I did not satisfy this restricted patterns, and so a tick mark is not shown here. So I'm elongating the password by using special characters and upper and lower case. So as you can see, everything else has a tick mark because that is satisfied, but the restricted pattern alone is not satisfied, and hence it does not have a tick mark. So this is how your blacklisted passwords work. So once you've configured the list of words that the user is not allowed to use as a password, this works for all the screens from Control-Delete, change password, and reset passwords. So now let's head on to the fourth point, that is customizing password policy requirements. So this is where this link comes into play. So under your password policy enforcer screen, you see this customize view link under this third checkbox. So you just need to click this, and this shows all the password policies, and along with this the default text that AD Self-Service Plus gives you. So you can change the order in which these password rules appear on the end user's screen. So you can just drag and drop and rearrange. And now to show you this, I'm going to drag this minimum password length to the first position, and I'm going to change the text that is being used. Now instead of showing minimum length should be at least, I'm going to type that your password should be at least your password, maybe I can use your password's length should be at least, and the number of characters would follow after these text. So as a test, I can also show you this. I'm dragging this use of patterns to the last, and I'm dragging this number of special characters to the position before the last rule. So I'm saving this, and I click save on this page. Now it's successfully updated. Now once I head on to the user's change password screen and I refresh the screen, now I'll be shown the new text that I added. Your password's length should be at least 8, and the number of special characters rule is listed before the last rule. So I rearranged this and I saved it. So this is for web portal alone. I can also customize this for Control-Delete screen as well. So for this, I'm heading back to the admins portal. I click on customize view, and there is this drop down box which shows on which screen, for which screen you're editing. Now I previously edited this text for web portal alone. I can click this and choose Gina or CP screen, and I can change the text for this screen also. And once I change, the change will be reflected to Control-Delete screen. Now I'll show you. Now again, I'm going to edit this minimum password length. That is your password length should be at least. So now I'm saving this. I'm heading back to the end user's remote connection, and I'm opening Control-Delete screen and clicking on change password. So now as you can see, your password's length should be. That is the minimum password length required. Rule is shown before the last rule because I changed its position. That is, I customized the password policy requirements being shown in the end user screen. So this is the fourth point that we saw, customizing password policy requirements. And the fifth point is enforcing password resets from ADUC with a custom password policy. So I previously told that we'll get back to what is password sync agent and how to use it. Now the time has come. So what is password sync agent? The password sync agent is used to enforce this policy for the entire domain. So even if the admin resets a user's password from ADUC console, this custom password policy configured from AD Self-Service Plus will be enforced. So you need to install the password sync agent on your primary domain controller. It's also advised to install the password sync agent on all writable DCs for this password policy enforcer to work effectively. So I'm going to show you how this works. So just open the location where your product is installed and head on to the installation folder. From there, so this is where my product is installed. Head on to the bin folder and you'll find this manage engine password sync agent.msi. So you just need to copy this and then take a remote connection to your primary domain controller. So I'm taking a remote connection to my primary domain controller and I need to run this MSI from the primary domain controller. Sorry, I entered my password wrongly. So once I'm here, I'm just opening a new folder under my downloads. Okay, I'm pasting my password sync agent here. Now what I do is I open a command prompt as an admin for installing this password sync agent in the primary domain controller. Once I open this command prompt as the admin, I change to the folder where my password sync agent is installed. The command to install this password sync agent is msi exec/i and the name of the password sync agent MSI. You can also just double click this MSI and install, but just to be sure that you're running it as an admin and that all the process goes smoothly, you need to use this command prompt. So I just enter this command and the password sync agent installation is shown. I just click next. The first thing is it asks for your protocol on which AD Self-Service Plus is running. So right now my product is running in HTTP. So I'm selecting that and clicking next. And I need to enter my IP address or the host name of the machine on which AD Self-Service Plus is running. So I'm entering that and also the port number on which AD Self-Service Plus is running. And I click next to start the installation. So once the installation finishes, the installer prompts you to restart your domain controller. Now this is mandatory for password sync agent because we are going to deal with passwords and Microsoft makes it mandatory for the MSIs that work deeply integrated with Microsoft. So since this is a major step, you have to restart your domain controller for password sync agent to be effective. So after your domain controller restarts, you'll be your password policy will be enforced from ADUC as well. That is the Active Directory users and computer screen. So this is another machine. So I'm just going to show you how this works. Once your password sync agent is installed, you will see the password sync agent running in the tray icon. You can just right click this and check the server status. So it will show you where the server is running, the port number, the protocol, and the status of the server where ADSSP is running, and the service status shows that the password sync agent is up and alive. So everything is fine now. Now I'm going to reset the password for the user Roland. So previously I added the word password to the blacklisted words. So simply using the word password would not allow me to reset the password even as an admin. So I'm just clicking OK. You will see this password rejection message if our password sync agent rejects this. So I can also show you the word machine to be used as a password, and I'll still be shown the same error message because our password sync agent won't allow the user to change the password or reset the password. So this is how this works. So that was our final point, enforcing password resets from ADUC with custom password policy. Now, not just the blacklisted passwords, but also all the password rules in our password policy enforcer will be enforced from ADUC screen. So now we have come to the end of today's workshop. So let's have a quick recap of what we saw today. The first one was deploying and enforcing universal password policy for all your applications. So what do I mean by all your applications? This means that AD Self-Service Plus can be integrated with other cloud providers, which was covered previously, and we already showed you how we can integrate with Office 365. So just for test purpose, I'm going to configure Office 365 right now. I'm entering my domain name and the username of this Office 365's admin and his password, and I'm clicking on save. So you can integrate your product, AD Self-Service Plus product, with any of the cloud providers shown on your password sync or single sign-on screen. So once you integrate, the end users will see those password cloud providers, and the password rules that we customize will also be enforced to those domains. Sorry, I entered a wrong username. I'm entering it again. And I'm clicking on save. So once this finishes, I can log in as an end user, and I'll be shown the list of my connected accounts in my change password screen. Now the system is saved successfully, and I'm logging in as the end user, Raja. Now I can select the accounts for which my password change should be reflected. So this is our first point, that is deploying and enforcing a universal password policy for all your applications. Now, since Office 365 is connected with AD Self-Service Plus, a user's password change will be reflected to the connected accounts as well. In our case, it's Office 365. So this is how you enforce a single password policy across all your applications. And the next point that we saw was showing instant password strength when end users type their passwords. So we saw a green tick mark as the user types and as the password policies are satisfied. And the third one was configuring blacklisted passwords to eliminate their usage. So I configured and showed you some simple words to be added to the blacklisted passwords and thereby securing your environment. And the fourth was customizing password policy requirements by reordering or changing the text that appears on your password policies, which will be shown to the user on their Control-Delete screen and also the reset and change password screen. And finally, we saw how to use password sync agent to enforce the password resets from ADUC as well. So even if the admin wants to reset a user's password, the password should satisfy all the password policies configured in AD Self-Service Plus. So thank you all for taking your time and listening to this workshop. I hope it will help you in effectively deploying AD Self-Service Plus in your organization. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to drop your questions in the chat box, or you can get in touch with us through email. The video of this workshop will be available online, and the same will be shared with you, and a feedback mailer will also be sent to you, which is going to help us in improving the quality of the workshop. Please take a minute or two to fill up the form, which is going to be of great use to us. Once again, thank you very much and have a wonderful rest of the day.